Hi everybody, welcome to this Pro and Expert general playthrough for Sawgrass. That is of course the course, brand new course we're playing on for the Players Championship tournament coming up in Golf Clash. Please give me a thumb up, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Plenty of Sawgrass related content coming your way. There's a rookie playthrough, there will be expert guides when the tournament begins as well. We're going to look at all 9 holes. I'm going to have the overviews on the screen as well, give you my thoughts on how best to play them. Bear in mind the tweaks and the approaches will vary and be needed once we know what the tournament wins are going to be. But it should give you a very good idea of orientation on these holes and some approaches that you may want to use. Let's get started with hole number 1. 2 options on this par 4. I would recommend you to play with a side spin 3 ball on this first one, which is the layup. We're going with 2.5 top spin and 3 side spin to the right, because you've got to get around that curve in the fairway. Aiming near to the right rough, but not incredibly close to it, because like I said, we're going to use the right spin and the curl, but we do need to take the shape of that curve round to the right. Max plus 10 is the elevation here, and then we are going to take our shot and playing with a 3/4 ball or 0.9 ball curl if possible. If you've got a bit more curl, it will help, because like I said, you want to curve round the shape of the fairway. Lower level extra miles may struggle here, but if you've got APOC or extra mile 8+, you're going to be absolutely fine. And we're taking the line very nicely, 350 yards. From there, we're going to have a short iron to the pin. There you can see I'm finding my club distance markers, my min and my max lines, because in this instance I'm going to estimate my true club distance, that is TC, on the notepad, and then I'm going to play it according to where I'm landing in comparison to my club. You can see I'm around mid distance here. Obviously in a tournament scenario we'll use either drive distance notes or fringe checks, pin checks to get a good reference on where we are with our club. But if you're playing this generally, then I would say 5% elevation at your club distance. So if you're nearer to max, then you're going to play it up near max numbers. If you're around mid, then you're going to play it mid, and so on. Here I was in between mid and max, if I remember correctly. But just to show you the type of shot you need, bit of backspin, side spin according to your wind angle, aiming at the pin if possible, dropping it very nicely for the eagle. Now, you can go aggressive here in tailwind. It is still a little bit of a risky shot because the fairway is quite narrow, but I'm aiming with my bullseye over the edge of the bunker at P5 max, and then we're going with a 3.8 top spin and 2 bars side spin to the right. You can use a berserker, or you can use one of these lovely new TPC Sawgrass balls, which you can win in the Golden Shot. More about that later on. Max plus 10, P5 numbers. Then we have to push up to max. Sorry, no, I'm not pushing up to max, going up around 3 rings. So to plus 20 yards, lower level clubs will need more push up, most likely to max. And then we're going with 0.9 ball curl to the right. Full overpower is important to hit perfect here. Like I said, fairway does get a bit narrow towards the green. You've got the water on the left, the sand on the right. So make sure you're threading the needle. But if this goes well in tailwind, a very good chance for a simple wedge for your eagle on this par 4. Onto a par 3 now. I'm going to go with a katana once again, or a kingmaker. Here we're going with 5 backspin and 3 right spin. I like approaching the pin from the left. There is a nice little slope down to the pin there, so make sure you set your spins accordingly. I'm just tweaking around a little bit here, trying a click or 2 less backspin, just making sure I can aim at the pin. I like boxing in the white ring. You see I've got it touching both parts of the rough here. Different wind directions, of course. You could play from the right hand side if you've got wind going from right to left as well. You've got a few options here on this par 3. But in the example here, playing it one-on-one, 7.5 in wind, going 7.5 rings, otherwise known as mid plus 10, power 3. But not too hazardous here. There isn't really a rough bump, so it is going to be a bounce down in all winds. We're getting a very nice roll there, and we're getting it for the hole-in-one. On this par 5, it's all about laying up towards the end of this first fairway to have a clear shot to the pin for an albatross attempt. So you can see I'm going with a top spin only, playing at max distance with my extra mile and a kingmaker. Now, you don't need a kingmaker for the drive or a titan, but you will need it for the second shot to get enough distance. So that's why, even though you could play this drive with a lower power ball, I'm going with a power 3. Max plus 10, and we're going to hit perfect here, and the idea is, like I said, get it down the fairway towards the tip of the fairway that you can see here. We'll have a look at our drive distance, but we've got room around the ball here for a great left and a great right as well. 360 yards is nice. Second shot, you will go with the Big Dog, Cataclysm, or the Guardian, depending what gives you the most backspin. Now, in crosswind scenarios like this, right to left, I don't want to adjust into clip the trees with a great ball or even with a perfect. So I'm playing with opposite side spin. So if the wind is going right to left, I'm going to play with right hand side just to check the ball up against the wind, and also means even though the ball guide is clipping away there, I'm not risking too much getting those trees in the way, because it gives me more flight time on the ball for the wind to take effect. Max plus 10, you will need about 4 or 5 bars of backspin here, and you've got the chance there at an albatross on this par 5. Here we are going to go with side spin 3 ball once again, because as before, we want to follow the shape of the fairway round and avoid the tree on our second shot. So we're going with around 3 to 4 topspin, maybe more or less depending what the wind angle is, but always 3 bars side spin to the right. We've got a headwind angle here, but I'm going to show you this angle deliberately, that even with headwind, this hole is going to be a very nice opportunity for an eagle. Max plus 10, half a ball of curl to the right. Obviously in tailwind angles, you would need less topspin, and you could start at max distance of club. You could probably even reduce the power ball setting. You could go with a katana really, as long as you've got that right spin, because it helps us follow the shape of the fairway. Around 330 to 340 is fine. Second shot is always going to be with the thorn here, and I'm finding the min line, I'm finding the max line. In the end, this is going to be around mid distance, but once again, as a guide, I've put true club distance on the notepad, so always try and work out yourself where you are with your club, because you can estimate how many rings you need to do in terms of slider percentages and club distance. Applying backspin, getting the ball guide kind of into the cup there, or even a bit beyond in headwind angles. If you've got tailwind angle, of course, you need to leave your ball guide short, because the wind push will have an effect. But generally, I'm playing this one 10% elevation. Very good chance for a drop. Your backspin will vary depending on your wind strength and wind angle, but a very nice flat green, brilliant chance for the eagle. If you're enjoying the free content here and want to help support the channel, then you can do so in one of 3 ways. You can click the thanks button directly underneath the video, you can use the PayPal link in the description down below, or you can become a channel member as well. All support of the channel is greatly appreciated. Now, on this par 5, it's all about playing a very nifty little drive down the fairway, avoiding the rough on either side. 4.5 top spin, 2 left spin, playing with a Titan for the distance, and we're setting up with half of the red ring inside the rough on the left, and we're going to adjust max plus 10. Now, a more accurate driver is going to be very helpful here. This is an aggressive line. There are, of course, safe eagle routes if you just want to lay up a bit more and then just play a containing shot with full right curl to get yourself on the green. You can do, but we really want to try and snag an albatross if we can. So we're using some curl there to bring ourselves down the fairway and missing the rough. Perfect ball needed. 360 yards is our drive. Now, if you get a load of topspin and you can drive further, you could play with the thorn here, short iron. If not, then the rough bump beneath the tree is a very good opportunity. Playing with around 3 topspin, might need some side spin as well. Be careful though, there is a join in the fairway just to the right of where I'm setting up, which does kick the ball guide around. So either set up before or after that little join in the texture there. So make sure you're aware of that one. It will cause you to have a glitch otherwise. Not going to kind of overshoot the green, but it will throw off your aim. Playing this one, true club distance, -5, because I just downhill and into the bunker. May need to tweak the elevation with different wind angles, but the rough bump here, if you can get into a good point with your drive, very good opportunity for an albatross on this par 5. Now, in headwind scenarios, we can play with our sniper from the minimum distance line, P3 min or P1 min. If you're in pro, you're probably going to be at P3 min with a Kingmaker and Expert. But you want to have plenty of backspin here. I'm going around 5.2 bars and setting up here at the P3 min line with the ball guide deliberately offset one green square to the right of the pin, because the wind is going to push us back towards the pin. Now, in tailwind, you could play this one at max distance of your long iron as well, because obviously you won't have room to adjust back with the sniper. So this is going to be one of those either or situations. Crosswind pays your money, it takes your choice. You could play it kind of with the sniper with backspin, or you can play it max long iron with topspin. In this case, the adjustment min plus 20. Tailwind scenarios, obviously you're going to be max numbers between 10 and 20% with your long iron. But a good opportunity there, nice bit of fairway to bounce on for the hole-in-one. Here we are going to lay up. Of course, in tailwind there will be a blast shot here with top spin and left curl, but most of the times the layup is the way forward with the rock or the quarterback for ball guide and accuracy. Half a bar of backspin, 3 bars left spin. I like the katana, I like the Kingmaker, just to give us a little less work to do with the curl in order to follow the contour and the shape of the fairway here. Pushing the rings, because in this wind angle the trees otherwise would have been in the way, and we're adjusting max plus 5, going without a wall curl to the left. Important here not to roll too far. Just before the end of the fairway there is a little slope down into the bunker, so if you're coming in too hot here you might find yourself in the sand. Definitely no further than this. Around 300 yards is going to be where we want to be. Now from there you can see we will be close to max distance of our short iron, but this is a shot we can play in pretty much all wind angles from that layup position. Even in headwind we can play with a bit of top spin and still have room to adjust. Here I'm going to add a little bit of backspin and some side spin to the right. So it'd be about 2 bars backspin, 1 right spin in this wind angle, setting up with the ball guide as follows. There you can see it's just to the right hand side. Sorry, no, it's actually at the pin. Ball guide going to the front of the cup though. In this instance I'm playing 10% elevation, true club distance, so work out where you are. It's going to be between, I would say, 75% slider up to max really. If you've done that layup well, might need to tweak your elevation depending on the wind angle, and of course offset the ball guide accordingly. If you've got tailwind, ball guide short of the hole, headwind, ball guide through the hole, but a very good chance for your eagle. Don't forget to check out my Sawgrass Edition Golden Shot video, letting you know all there is to know about that this week. Go in there, take your free shot, maybe buy some paid ones as well. Win yourself some of the unique TPC Sawgrass balls to conquer the very tricky hole 17. So check that one out, it's on the channel homepage. Here is an aggressive drive. The APOC is an advantage here, but I'm going to show you it can be done with an APOC 4, max top spin, 3 left spin. Half of the red ring inside the rough on the left with APOC 4 at P3 max. Then we're adjusting max distance, 10% elevation. Power 4, power 5 ball would help, especially if you've got a lower level APOC here, but a Kingmaker will work in nice wind angles. Now I'm going to show you a layup point after this shot. We're pushing back up to max here though, going with full left curl and full overpower. Try and hit perfect. Like I said, this is a bit of an aggressive one. If you've got the curl, then I would recommend you give it a go. You're either going to miss the rough completely or clip the rough and roll out, and you'll have a clear view of the pin for your second shot. If you don't want to do that, look at where that pink profile icon is there just before the tree. That's where you want to lay up to. You can see with the sniper or another wood club, I've got a very clear shot between the trees at the base of the pond there, and that's going to be a safe way of reaching the green in 2. But here's the aggressive option, of course. Back to that now. We're playing rings from min with the Grizzly here, and I'm playing a no spin shot, and I'm aiming the ball guide just at the pin, 1 green square short, because there is a little bit of tailwind angle. With this wind angle I'm going with 5% elevation. As you've seen so far, not a great amount of downhill or uphill stuff on Sawgrass. Generally you're going to play between 0, 10, maybe occasionally 20 on the par 3s, but it's really just wind angle based rather than that you're shooting massively downhill, with the exception of the par 3 that's coming up though. Rings from Min, 5% elevation here. Very good chance following a good drive of getting an albatross, but placement is key off your drive for this par 5. Now on to the famous par 3, the Island Green. We are going here with plenty of backspin. If you haven't got the Grizzly level 8, play with the Saturn or the Tsunami, something that gives you loads of backspin. I want to bounce before the fringe every single time because landing on the fringe will give you a dramatically different bounce here. So we're going plenty of backspin, like I said. It's going to be between 5 and 7 bars, 3 right spin with this wind angle, and then I'm adjusting mid plus 60. Yes, that is correct. Because we're using loads of backspin, you're going to get a really high second bounce. The ball's in the air longer. It's going to be affected by the wind more, which is why we need loads more elevation. Out of all the holes, this is one where you might need to take a token or two, put in some tweaks, and vary the spins according to your wind angle. A very good bonus if you can drop this one. It's a tough par 3, just a bit short in this example. Thank you for watching this video on the Players Championship here on the channel. For more help and content, guides, shot sharing, discussion points, check us out on Facebook. Head on over there, search for BK Golf Clash. Totally free to join that group. Over 12,000 members as well. Good luck on this lovely new course. All the best, everybody. See you soon. Bye for now.